welcome to ISTV English News. I'm Dhanya. Let's take a look at the top story first. Employees of IMC strongly object to government's plan to acquire its office building. Residents of different localities oppose proposed plan of ring road around Imphal city. The news in detail. Voices of protest are getting louder against the various plans of development being taken up by the state government. Imphal Municipal Council Employees Union has expressed strong dissentment against the government plan to acquire the office building of the IMC. Unless the decision to acquire the IMC building is withdrawn, the union will launch an intense agitation, warned the president of the union, Chauba, during a press meet held at the conference hall of the IMC today. President Chauba said, when the government plan to shift the office building of the IMC to Lamphel Sanakaithel is translated into action, the staffs will face a lot of inconveniences. The government had acquired former estate of the IMC and had constructed the Interstate Bus Terminus ISBT. Former property of IMC that used to be called Hotel Manipur had been acquired by the government and had set up the office building of the Minority and Other Backward Classes MOBC. After Indira Park had also been acquired, now the government is turning its eyes to the IMC building. The IMC Employees Union strongly opposes the government's step, Chauba said. These acts of the government make it suspicious whether the government is trying to disband the IMC instead of nurturing it. If the government tries to capture the IMC's office building forcibly, the union will resist it by all means and launch an intense agitation, he warned.
IMC की property सी नोमा की सुनाई इंडस्ट्री को सिना IMC सी मणिपुर गवर्नमेंट ना मुथन पी का दौर बराही चिंगना बहोय को फाउले.
On the other hand, opposition to the construction of Ring Road has been increasing day by day. The JAC formed against the proposed construction of Ring Road passing through 8 villages of Thangmaiban Assembly constituency has raised a strong demand for shifting of the proposed Ring Road to other suitable places about 7 km away from the city. Speaking to media persons at Manipur Press Club, a leader of the JAC, A. Okain, said the proposed ring road has to pass through the rear side of the Manipur State Assembly complex and reach Langol. Again, it passes through Iroishemba, Langjing, Langtabal, Kongba, Ayangpali and ends at Chingmairong. The distance of the road is about 4 km and it will affect congested areas of different assembly constituencies. He drew the attention of the authority concerned to the demand of shifting of the proposed ring road to other suitable places about 7 km far away from the city. If the authority concerned fails to listen to the people's voices, it will be considered as inviting for an unprecedented movement, he warned.
Imphal city dagi kilometer mari manga ke manung da ring road semagadi akhoi ki afaba kari thok da gebo kai thok da ge thune chuma lete maramdi yamra the maximum 12 to 15 kilometer the sembi over ring road se adu eragadi manana lama sem betagdi sabkatriba khundusu already sapala kaneba sabkatriba khundusu sapala kane natraga Imphal city hanata ke sapatra leiraba khunji da amburimo semje lagadi atai lehoriba akoi the rural area da lehoba kampudi makoi sapapa mangadra.
The Northeastern Zonal Meeting of All India Women's Conference organized by Women's Education Development Association WEDA was held at the Manipur Press Club today. MLA of Kaishamthong Assembly Constituency Laishom Ibomcha, President of All India Women's Conference Veena Kohli, Vice President Gunkeshri Pradhan, Treasurer Arneshwari and Zonal Organizer Rita Roy sat on the dais as the main guests. Speaking on the occasion, MLA Ibomcha drew the attention of the leaders of the All India Women's Conference coming from New Delhi to take up the matter of racial discrimination against the people of the Northeast with the central leaders. He also said that the capability of the Manipuri women needs to be strengthened. The MLA also assured all possible help from his side to the activities of the All India Women's Conference.
To raise their voice against the harassment of racial discrimination and harassment of Northern people in the mainland of Delhi, they should raise their voice. And the harassment of our ladies, women and child, mostly in Delhi, you might have seen in so many news in the newspaper and the TV channel, even in Bangalore, so that you may raise this voice. I know that the oil company is a very powerful force in Delhi. So they must do something so that it should not be repeated again and again in Delhi.
Ahead of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's maiden visit to Imphal after becoming Prime Minister of India on November 30 to attend the closing function of the 5th edition of Manipur Sangai Festival, security measures have been tightened up in various areas in Imphal East district. As part of the security measures being taken up, a team of Imphal East police today conducted a search operation in the areas of Palace Gate and New Chekon. Many persons, including women, were herded out of their homes and verified one by one by the police. 4 persons who had no identity proof were picked up by the police and handed over to the Porompat police for further verification. In the meantime, in connection with Prime Minister's visit to Manipur, wooden fencing has been erected on the road sides from airport to Keshampad along the Tidim road. However, it is not known whether the Prime Minister will take the road or fly by helicopter from airport to the main venue of Sangai Festival at Hapta Kangjebung. The 61st Meitei Yening Hunba was observed at Haingang Makha Lekai today under the aegis of Meitei Yening Hunba. The day is observed as a commemoration of the day when Nongda Lairen Pakhangba made his first appearance on the surface of the earth. People offered prayers at the memorial site, which is regarded as his first stepping place. Talking to the ISTV News, Executive Member of Meitei Yening Hunba, Y. Priyokumar said, the cultural rituals of the Meitei are fading away day by day. The day is observed annually to protect and promote Meitei. The day is observed with an objective to revive the religion, culture and rituals that our ancestors used to have in the past, he added.
Meitei Lining Nasolja Hingalapun Haina, say so Samapun, the Pumdogi, Poinugi Tang, the Poinugi Nipandegi, Huduki, Adu Nixing Boina, Jose Kumsisu, Zaykudi Pantoi, Kumsisu Madugi Pantok Boina, Poinugi Taruni Pamba, I said I could a Pantok Savani.
In today's national news, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived to address an election rally in Udhampur, 60 kilometers from Jammu, terrorists hiding in an abandoned army bunker continue to exchange fire with soldiers. Major ceasefire violations by Pakistan this morning have seen its troops targeting border outposts at Arnia, where a group of terrorists crossed into India on Thursday morning. Officials say of that group, 1 or 2 who have survived nearly 24 hours of gun battle with the army are holed up in the bunker. Since yesterday, 4 militants, 3 soldiers and 5 civilians are reported killed in the encounter, now in its second day. The militants were dressed in fatigues which look like army uniforms. Top army officials said Pakistani troops violated the ceasefire at the border on Thursday morning to provide cover to the militants as they crossed over into India. The infiltrators opened fire at an army column on patrol near Arnia, just 2 kilometers from the border. Then they managed to enter the bunker that was not in use by the army. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi visited Rangpur Pahadi slums in South Delhi, where hundreds of dwellings were demolished a couple of days ago, and sent out a stern warning to the centre. They have won this time, but if they want to use the bulldozer again, let them drive it over my body, Mr. Gandhi told reporters after a quick visit to the slums. He accused the centre of harassing poor people. It's the winter season and it's getting so cold. The government is sending these poor people out of their homes, he said. Rahul Gandhi's visit to the area created a stampede-like situation. Residents jostled with each other in a bid to attract Mr. Gandhi's attention and narrate their stories. Reports suggest that about 900 dwellings built on encroached forest land were demolished by Delhi government officials on Tuesday morning. The demolition drive has left thousands of people homeless just when winter has set in. India pledged a slew of regional investments at the South Asian Summit in Nepal this week, seeking to counter China's growing economic inroads into its backyard. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said South Asia's largest economy would fund regional infrastructure, health facilities and a communication satellite, and promised to free up India's markets to exporters in smaller countries in the region. Mr. Modi, who won a landslide election victory in May, has made clear that boosting India's influence in its immediate neighborhood is a key strategic priority for his government. Critics say the previous Congress party government began to take relationships for granted, allowing economic giant China, which shares a border with 4 of India's neighbors, to step into the breach. But the failure of the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, to make any significant progress during a 2-day meeting underscored the scale of the challenge New Delhi faces. On the other hand, Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif has said India should not have cancelled the Foreign Secretary level talks, insisting that there was nothing new in consulting Kashmiri leaders ahead of a dialogue. We had been talking to the Kashmiri leaders in the past whenever Pakistan-India talks are held. This is nothing new, as we have to seek the opinion of the Kashmiri leaders on an issue that concerns them the most, Sharif told reporters on board his aircraft while returning home from the 18th SAARC summit on Thursday. Consultations held by Pakistan High Commissioner in New Delhi with Kashmiri separatists led to the cancellation by India of Foreign Secretary Sujata Singh's visit to Islamabad in September. Since then, both countries have maintained that they are willing to engage in a meaningful dialogue, provided the other side takes the initiative. Sharif said that India should not have cancelled the Foreign Secretary level talks, as was agreed upon during his meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi following his swearing-in at New Delhi. Sharif also categorically stated that if India wants to restore ties, the Kashmir issue must be discussed, and that too seriously with full sincerity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will take stock of the issue of militancy connected with jihad, northeast insurgency and left-wing extremism at the annual conference of DGPs, IGPs of all states, union territories and central police organization heads, Assam DGP Khagen Sharma said on Thursday. Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh will address the 2-day conference being held on November 29 and Prime Minister Narendra Modi the next day, when the Chief Ministers of the Northeast states and Sikkim will be present, the Director General of Police told reporters. Militancy connected with jihad across the country will be a major issue to be discussed in the 49th annual conference being held in a state for the first time outside the national capital, Sharma said. Northeast insurgency connected with ethnicity, Alpha, NDFB, Muslim and left-wing militancy will also be discussed at the conference, he said. Left-wing militancy in other states too, besides national security and its connected issues, modernization of police force to cope with challenges, illegal arms dealings, human trafficking, narcotics, besides improvement of police public relations would also be discussed, he said. The Union Road and Transport Ministry is all set to bring major changes in the country's transport system. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari said that he is aiming at utilizing biofuels for the running of vehicles, adding that the centre will formulate new road laws which are in line with standards set in US and UK. Inland waterways is an important sector. We are going to construct inland waterways for which we need budgetary support. At the same time, we are going to change this Motor Vehicle Act. We are introducing new buses on the basis of biofuels, biodiesel and biogas, said Gadkari. He added that the Transport Ministry would request Finance Minister Arun Jaitley to cut down taxes on the vehicles running on biofuels. In a major development, a whopping rupees 10 crore cash, one Audi car worth rupees 90 lakh and nearly 2 kg diamonds worth over rupees 100 crore were recovered after income tax officials raided the residence of Noida Authorities engineer Yadav Singh. The raids by income tax officials were conducted at the engineer's Noida residence. According to sources, rupees 10 crore was recovered from his car. The cash was put in 8 bags. And now let's take a look at the top story once again. Employees of IMC strongly object to government's plan to acquire its office building. Residents of different localities oppose proposed plan of ring road around Imphal city. Thanks for joining us, and for more news updates, please keep watching.